Let me try.
सरहद पे चले, सरहद पे हमें आवाज लगानी है, माथे पे तिलक जय हिंद लगा वो मेरी निशानी है।
morning, everyone. Let us settle down quickly. A very warm welcome to all the distinguished guests, respected faculty, industry experts, and our enthusiastic students gathered here. This is indeed a moment of pride and excitement as we come together to inaugurate Samanvay, a series of panel discussions. This is an initiative to bridge the gap between industry and academia, which would promote, foster dialogue, innovation, and collaboration. The word Samanvay beautifully signifies coordination and harmony. This series aims to bring together the brilliance of academic minds and the dynamic experience of industry professionals. Now, before we begin today's program, let us invoke the blessings of Lord Ganesha, the remover of obstacles and the harbinger of wisdom and prosperity. Let us start this auspicious occasion with Ganesh Vandana.
वक्रतुंड महाकाय सूर्यकोटि समप्रभ निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देव सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा
Thank you. And now comes the moment we all have been waiting for, the official inauguration of Samanvay. I request all the dignitaries to launch the Samanvay series digitally. Can we have the remote, please? Okay, so now we inaugurate Samanvay digitally. Let us give a big round of applause as we officially inaugurate Samanvay, a journey of connection, collaboration, and creativity. Thank you. We are truly honored to have with us today some of the most inspiring leaders who have graciously joined us for this inauguration and first panel discussion of the series. Let us felicitate our esteemed panelists. We shall begin with Mr. Patil, sir, freelance human resource consultant. I request Dr. Suresh Bahadurkar, sir, to please felicitate Mr. Patil. Thank you, sir. I request Mr. Dilip Achtani, Director Academic CIMEDU, to felicitate Mr. Sunil Deshmukh, IMA Global Board Chair Emeritus, Board Director and Chair. request Dr. Yogesh Gurau to felicitate Mr. Praveen Bhamre, Global Delivery Head, Enterprise Solutions Manufacturing from TCS. Thank you, sir. Now I invite Dr. Alpana Adsul to honor and welcome. Thank you. I request Dr. Ashwini Jagtap to please come forward and welcome Ms. Brinda Parasnis, Head, My Life at Persistent. Thank you, Madam. I request Mr. Lalit Pawar to felicitate Mr. Santosh Kotnis, Founder and CEO, Spring Up Labs, Startup Mentor and Board Advisor. Thank you, sir. I request Dr. Ashish Jauke to welcome Mr. Vishal Karad, Head Human Resources at Genova Biopharmaceuticals. Thank you, sir. Kind request to Dr. Preeti Sharma to please come forward and felicitate Dr. Meghna Bilare, Director, Dr. D.Y. Patil Institute of Management and Entrepreneur Development. Thank you. Now let us start with the very first panel discussion under Samanvay. Synergy in action, fostering sustainable skills through industry-academia collaboration. Mr. Milind Mutalik sir shall be the moderator. I request him to commence the discussion. Over to you, Mutalik sir.
Yes, coming there.
Sir, mic is
Yeah?
yeah, you can see it, sir.
Shall we start? Good morning to all. I think we have delayed a session. Apologies for that. Those who are waiting here for some time, we got delayed because of some, kind of travel issues, but we are here and we are starting now. So I'm delighted to welcome you all to the first Samanvay 1.0 organized by Dr. Sushant Patil Group of Institutions. As your moderator, I will lead the session with discussion on synergy in action, fostering sustainable skills through industry-academia collaboration. Why are we here? We are here because it's a vital issue affecting our youth and economy. Despite of large number of engineering and management graduates we produced every year, many face significant skill gap. Important points are over 50% of engineering graduates, as the study shows, often seen not matching the job market requirements. This has been a long-standing problem that impacts millions of young professionals. The situation for MBA is also concerning, with studies showing 60 to 70% lack the practical skills in terms of critical thinking, leadership qualities, and what employers value as the skills which are important from the perspective of communication, effective communication, etc. Looking towards 2025 and beyond, the new technologies have come in, like everyone knows about AI and automation. It expects that it could create a further gap, and the NASSCOM Future Skill Report says there's an urgent need for everyone, for the people who are professionals, the people who are entering the industry, needs to reskill themselves for these changes and challenges which are coming up. It is critical. Why we are meeting today is to see that how we are able to make our efforts to collaborate here, to give some feedback, to give some experience sharing, by which we are able to bring up some action points from both the sides, academia as well as the institute. I have a panelist who are from both the sides, industry as well as academia. And I think this is a unique proposition here, that we would like to see whatever we are talking shouldn't be a one-way street. It should be a collaborative efforts by which institute acknowledges of what we are talking. Does that make sense? What are the practical aspects into it which they are dabbling with? And what could be the action plan to get over the solutions which we have wanted? This is an authentic effort to ensure we collaborate to drive the action agenda and create a lasting impact. So that's the purpose and objective. I want to highlight few points quickly, what we could get out of this discussion. So we're expecting clarity on what are the skills required. Each of the professional here comes from a different domain, okay? And as we go ahead, they will introduce themselves and you will get to know more about them. Obviously, they are going to introduce briefly in just 3 minutes time. We'll get to know about the skills, targeted upskilling which is required. This will, ensure that we are able to have the tricks and tips for employability. It will allow you to look at your career and how you can path your career better way and improve job matching as to what industry expects and what you're typically working on to. While I have talked about gaps and other things, let me talk about something which is very positive happening around. Okay, from 2025 to 2030, Indian economic growth is projected at 6.2 to 6.6 annually, which will be primarily driven by IT, digital services, manufacturing, EVs, and fintech. That's what the research says. These industries will generate significant employment for engineering as well as the management graduates, which would have to acquire specialized digital and analytical skills. And let me quickly talk about some numbers. Industry IT technology talks about 350 billion of a market by 2030. AI market itself, as per the estimation by 2031, is going to be about 19 billion. Why is this happening? Rapid digitization, global outsourcing demand, AI adoption, etc. Now, especially in terms of global engineering and R&D, it says the segment in 5 years is going to grow to about 63 billion, which according to me would create 1.2 million of jobs by 2030. Coming to manufacturing, the target is by 2026 though, but I would say 2030, it's US 1 trillion, which is helped by the government production-linked incentives and initiatives. Global supply chain, all of us know it's shifting and domestic consumption is increasing. We expect about 1 million of jobs to come in this area, especially the focus is on semiconductors because all the data centers are needing the semiconductors. AI has been supported by the semiconductors. Coming to electric vehicles, projected to grow by CAGR 66.52% and reaching about 114 billion by 2029. It talks about 5 million jobs by 2030, and government is pushing sustainable mobility. Rising demand of infrastructure development is creating these opportunities. Fintech market is already 550 billion by 2030 with a CAGR, the growth rate of about 30.55%. This would also create opportunities because of high smartphone penetration, success of UPI, digital lending, blockchain technology, all these areas. Healthcare would create 5 million jobs by 2030. So we don't have to only focus on IT, but there are various other industries which would come up and give us a lot of opportunities. Healthcare is US $320 billion by FY 2028. And it's obviously because of health adoption policy, digital health platforms, and a lot of use of digital into pharmaceutical growth. Renewable energy aims at 500 gigawatts of non-fossil fuel capacity. Again, this is very important for the data centers to have the establishment into India. It's US $250 billion investment expected and 38 millions of jobs by 2030. So all this is allowing us to work, one, in the industry, two, there's definite change in gig economy, that is somewhere you would work as a consultant for both software as well as the management grads. 10 million is a count roughly in India in 24-25, which is going to go up to 23.5 million by 2030. So this is the whole opportunity which are available to us, and we would like to do a discussions with each of the experts here to say that how we are able to exploit this opportunity for our benefit. Okay. Now I would request panel members to quickly introduce themselves in, each one could take about 2 or 3 minutes. Yeah. We start with you, Sunil. I hope the panelists don't mind calling them by first name or the initials.
Thank you, Milind. And one of the most in-demand skill in today's world is called patience. And we have tested your patience today morning. Thank you very much for that. If you want to learn a little bit more about patience, go to internet and look for marshmallow experiment, which was done by Stanford University for last 40 years. And it is proved that People who have patience, they are the most successful people. And now you are all the most successful people. My name is Sunil Deshmukh. Around 32, 33 years of corporate experience. First 15, 16 years as a chief financial officer, finance leader of big multinational companies. Last one was McDonald's. I was the CFO of McDonald's in India. And then later on, I became a CEO, managing director, group CEO, lived in 5 countries, managed $1 billion top line business as a CEO. And I decided to quit my corporate job 4 years back, came to India, and again, COVID taught me the patience, right? I was stuck in India in the COVID for whatever, we are always stuck, right? So nowadays, I do leadership coaching. I'm a certified coach, I'm a psychologist. I teach in IIM, MBA, IIM, and a senior management program. I sit on the board of multiple companies as an independent director. I was the global chairman and now the global chair emeritus of the Institute of Management Accountants of America. First non-American to become the global chair in the history of 105 years. And in addition to that, thank you. Yeah, and in addition to this, I do enjoy my life with friends sitting around like this. Thank you very much.
Yes, you can pass on the mic further.
So after that illustrious introduction, my introduction would sound like a normal guy in corporate world, right? But yeah, my name is Gopal Parasnis. Born, brought up, raised in Pune. Of course, I have stayed outside for a long while before I returned to Pune. So with more than 25 years of experience, predominantly from Infosys, company. But last 3 years roughly, I have shifted and I'm part of Tech Mahindra ecosystem, a Mahindra Group company. So over there, I lead what we call as transformation services or digital transformation services. Which is, I think, those who are from the technology background, and I was checking with Lalit sir, and there are a lot of you. So I'll probably explain that a bit. But from our perspective, what transformation means is basically it's a synergy, the word that you have used already, across the multiple domains of business, of consulting, of engineering, of technology, architecture, all of that. And all of this, when comes together, you can actually create a significant impact to the business. So I lead that practice as a part of BFSI unit. BFSI stands for Banking and Financial Services and Insurance, which is basically my core area. So sometimes I get confused whether I'm a technology guy or a banking guy. So, that's the kind of background from a professional perspective. On a personal front, yeah, of course, all of these are great people to hang out with. I also am a certified yoga teacher and practitioner. So I like to, do and focus on that. I do blogging fairly frequently. And off late, I have taken a new endeavor, I would say adventure. And like some of you, I think a lot of you have done the PhDs here. In the introduction, I could make that out. I have enrolled myself for a PhD program in IIM. So yeah, looking forward to learn something new, and it's an exciting world out there. And yeah, I think this interaction is going to be great. Thank you.
Hold on now, I'm going to change the order. I'll go to Brunda now.
Fair. A very good morning to everyone, and it's a pleasure to be here on the campus. Thank you so much, Milind, and everybody at DY Patil to have us here. I'm Vrunda, and I'm Vrunda Parasnis, better half of Mr. Gopal Parasnis. I am a HR professional. I'll tell you how, and that sounds right, okay? So to me, the future of HR is well-being. So I'm with Persistent Systems for the last 18 plus years now. And for the first 8 years, I worked as a first view HR there, did all the systems, policies, frameworks, all of it. For the last decade, for the last 10 years, what I work on is a very simple thing which is called My Life at Persistent. And that is a very simple job which I have, okay? So the only thing which I do at Persistent these days is to make my employees happy and healthy. That's about it, okay? And it's easier to say that, I can be happy and I can be healthy, but to make somebody else happy and make somebody else healthy is not easy, because I cannot outsource health to somebody, right? Because I cannot outsource happiness to somebody, nor can I buy over the counter. And that's what makes what it is a beautiful role, which I enjoy doing this. As Gopal said, I'm also a certified yoga teacher evaluator. So it's me, my husband, and my daughter who did this course together about a few years back. I'm a certified lifestyle coach, and that's what I enjoy doing in the company. I take care of the well-being of my employees and my CEO. If you follow Persistent Systems, it's the fastest IT growing company right now. We have delivered 22 straight quarter growth. And if somebody would have invested in our stocks, it has grown 72 times. That's what's the growth journey of Persistent, and happy to, kind of take this through, because we do take care of our well-being in the company, right? So, and I'm also a certified naturopath, and I really believe in making best of what you have. So I like to unleash your potentials and make people do what they can do their best in this lifetime. That's what I am, and I'm really happy to have an interaction with you. Thank you.
You don't want to add about your PhD which you're doing?
Okay, fair. So thank you, Milan. So I'm also doing my PhD from IIM Nagpur, and I've completed first year course. This is my second year, and I'm enjoying being a student. So I know what it feels to sit this side. And it really feels nice, because it's good to go back, and I understand the pressures of assignment now and the deadlines, sitting in the lectures and sitting in the sessions. So it's feeling great to understand academia, and these kind of interactions help me understand what is it that academia is doing. And I'm really grateful to all the faculty here, when I get my students, or rather your students, in my company as my freshers, I feel so grateful that you've taken so much of efforts to make them corporate ready. So big thank you to all of you. Thank you so much. Back to you, Milind.
Thank you for having me here. Myself, Praveen Bhamre. I am working with TCS as a global delivery head, and with TCS for close to 20 years. Into industry for almost 3 decades. I'm a mechanical engineer. I think a lot of legends here on the stage. As a mechanical engineer, I had very diverse background. Got an opportunity to work into pesticide manufacturing, printing ink manufacturing, to air conditioner manufacturing, and landed up into TCS accidentally. I am leading enterprise solutions unit for manufacturing unit. Most of my experience is into manufacturing. So I have hundreds of customers with whom, with help of my teams, I'm supporting them, trying to add value whichever way I can. On personal front, I'm a long distance runner. Started my running journey somewhere in 2014 with TCS Fit for Life as an initiative, which our current Tata Group chairman started while he was in TCS. There is a lot we learn. We make good friends while running. Long distance running is about be on road for 3 hours, 4 hours. As a part of my practice, I'll be on road next month for 4 to 5 hours. So you will see me running in Pune University if you are on Sunday. That's on personal front. We'll talk more as we go along. Yes, yes. Once again, thank you for having me here.
Good morning all. I'm Dr. Meghna Bilare, and really very honored to be part of this panel, distinguished people panel, because academic and practice is really what we always look at as an academician, and somewhere I proudly say I'm the generation of teacher who has witnessed entire journey of right from chalk to duster, and chalk to blackboards and green boards to smart boards, and now AI integration. So this has been a wonderful journey, but in this, though I have been always associated with management education, industry collaboration has always we have looked upon, and I would say that it's because of industry collaboration integration we have been able to really place our students well or guide our students well. Over a period of time, definitely education has changed from teacher-centric to student-centric, and that's the best part of it. And definitely with the introduction of NEP, lot has been focused on the skill development. As sir was saying, upskilling is required, and that we are really focusing. But today's panel discussion, I look upon for a lot of inputs from your side where we can work upon our students. So thank you for having you all here with us, and it's our really privilege to host you all. Thank you.
It's nice to be with young friends. I'm seeing each one of you very confident, well behaved, well prepared. So it reminds me my college days. Nice to meet you, and then nice to meet the professors, because I think I always look at the young friends, because that's where the energy is coming from. My name is Santosh Kotnis. I'm currently an entrepreneur. 2.5 decades into IT services. Started a career with TCS and Geometric and all, and worked largely in the US and the Europe. Came back to India, started my first company, exited that. This is my second company. IT services is still a small company, about 150, 160 people company. I also run a small VC firm. We look at investing into tech startups because we build an ecosystem in the technology, so that's what we invest in. So we have office in Baner, and from personal side, big sports guy, Formula One to the core. Follow Formula One since many days. Unlike Mr. Bambre, he's a distance runner. I'm a distance walker. I love walking for obvious reasons. And Pune has been serving me really well in that sense. I mean, a lot of beautiful places here. And plus reading, try reading a lot. And then Saturday is something which I really enjoy, meeting a lot of people, being part of academia, along with this group in IIM Nagpur, plus also part of a lot of academic things. It's a pleasure to meet this campus. It's first time for me. Would like to connect all of you in LinkedIn. Okay, whether you join us or not, it's a different story, but would like to connect, because nowadays all beautiful ideas are coming from that experience bracket, or fresh mind, fresh thought process. Would love to connect with all of you. Santosh Kotnis, I mean, you can find me. Currently, I mean, since last 6-8 years, I'm staying in Pune. Otherwise, from a very small village called in Karnataka. Agricultural family. I still go every other month and go sit in, you understand that panchayat, katta, and then I really love that. I mean, I get connected to that route. I mean, as a farmer by heart, I'm the only guy of my family who came out and could able to talk a little bit of English. That's how my mother puts it.
Good morning, everyone. So, first of all, please have a little empathy for me. Now, imagine if Sachin Tendulkar has played, okay? Viraj Sehwag had played, Dhoni had played, and let's say Kohli has played, and the Indian captain, women's team captain has played, and the vice captain has played. Now here's somebody who comes in the rank of 7th, 8th for batting, and all of them have scored century, let's say. Now, and there are still, 5 overs are remaining, right? My name is Major Vishal Karad. I started my journey from Nasik. I grew up there. I started my professional career, very quickly I'm jumping on that, as a hockey coach. I coached for 2-3 years, and I produced the first 5 girls to go to national level from Nasik. Out of those 5 girls, 2 are district sports officer, 1 is a commissioner of sports going to come to Pune also, and 4 boys who went to the national level. After that, I was pushed to go to defense services as a tradition of my family. Otherwise, I would have been in Symbiosis doing MBA like you guys there. But no repent, I think it was destined for me. So I served military for 7 years, Indian Armed Forces. I was the best all-rounder cadet of my batch of SS-76, commissioned in 2002. And I was decided, so that's why I served for 7 years, and I thought, let me do now at least another 10 different things in the world, giving back to nation. So I came back, I started my professional career, apart from the defense services. I started my career with automobile industry. I worked with two-wheeler, TVS Motor Group. They felt I'm doing well, so they gave me one more wheel. From two-wheeler, I moved to three-wheeler. And then life gave me another opportunity to work with another wheel, so I went to four-wheeler, FGA, Fiat Group Automobile. And from there, enough of traveling and wheels were there, so they said, let's go to the brains which are working behind the wheels. So I came to the pharmaceutical industry. I worked with MCure Group. I'm still with a part of the group, but pharma sector, I worked for around 8.5 years in the corporate roles. Different roles I did for Indian and overseas subsidiaries. For last 5 years, I'm heading HR for Genoa Biopharmaceutical. You can definitely Google about it, but it's one of the biggest rising star and biggest innovation a company would have given in the sector of healthcare in India. You must go and study about that. We take pride, everybody in the company, we take pride that we save life for something like 500 to 600 every day with the count of heart attack and brain stroke, and a very rare disease in kids about cancer. So that's been my professional role. I love coaching and training and stuff like that. So I'm a certified leadership coach in Gallup and EQI and brain-based coaching and stuff like that. I've been doing that. It's my passion. For last 15 years, I've been doing that for this. I take a lot of pride in discovering strengths of kids and letting them know what they can do and make difference for themselves and others. Life pushed me to do my PhD also, so I did my PhD from Mumbai University in the space of business management and leadership. I must say that, and you, specifically students, you must almost take pride that if the life gives you an opportunity to get introduced to someone like guru, mentor, or somebody like Sunil sir, or all these guys who are there, feel blessed and take maximum out of that, right? So I say that always, that I'm blessed to have great mentors in my life. And that's, here we are, now it's time for giving back. That's how we do that, whatever time there, and we always say yes to whenever such opportunity comes. It's not that life is not busy, life is crazy, it will always be there for us, right? Apart from this, I spend some time in my garden to be relaxed. I love gardening. And I love cooking. That's how my wife loves me on weekends also.
Do you now think he's a so-called the batsman who is coming after Sehwags and Tendulkars? So I would rather say we are lucky that we have all sort of champions here, all Tendulkars and so-called of the world. So we'll start with now the panel discussion. One of the important point is, once we finish the questions for each of the panelists, we are going to kind of take a pause and have Madam to chime in to say, what does she feels about what we are talking? Does it make sense? It doesn't make sense? What is that where we are? And what is that which you would like to do? What are the constraints, or for that matter, what stops us doing it? And what could be the action plan? So moreover, why we are here is to see that we are able to take away a few actions from here on both the sides. Okay, that's the intention. So let me start with my first question with Sunil. Sunil, the global perspective on employability is something which I'm going to ask you about. Drawing your experience of managing operations across Africa, Asia, Middle East, how can an academic program better equip graduates with global mindset, adaptive skills needed to succeed in a diverse, cross-culture professional environments? In short, I'm trying to ask him, how is that global opportunities, or how is that global local scenario can work better for us, and what skills we need to be there? Okay? Over to you, sir.
Yeah, thanks, Milind, and thanks everybody for a great introduction. I realize all these people sitting on this dais are better than me, So I have scope to improve myself. It's the one skill I need to improve, right? Now, I lived in 5 countries. I traveled, in last 1 year, I have traveled 15 countries. I speak to students all over the world, including Americas and all those things. The biggest challenge in today's world as far as the employability is concerned or job is concerned, and I call it as mindset travels before your passport. If you want to get a job, your mindset is more important than your passport. In this, nowadays everyone wants to get a global job, right? Right. So your mindset is very important if you want to get a good job. And unfortunately, universities and colleges do not prepare the mindset of the students. And I think that's the big gap I am always seeing. Across Asia, Africa, America, Europe, what I have seen is talent wins when the context changes. And you have been seeing the context is changing continuously from last 5 years, post-COVID, or now you know the great US president, everything is changing every day. Context is changing. Now what wins when a context changes is your talent. And talent is with you. But of course, you have to build these talents with adaptability and multiple things. For example, McDonald's opened a world's largest back office in Hyderabad last week outside of America. Now, they have opened a global capability center, GCC, and friend Santosh here is an expert in GCC. I'm not getting into your area, but what I'm trying to say is the new types of jobs are arriving in the world. When I came into the industry, there was a job called computer operator. Now it doesn't exist. There was a job called receptionist, doesn't exist. Executive assistant to the managing director, doesn't exist. So jobs are changing. You need to be ready to change with the changing world. What is required today, according to me, is very important is the universities and colleges need to teach the language of business. When we do the business, I'm not saying we use Spanish or other language, but the terminologies, the management terminologies, the financial terminologies used in the business needs to be taught in the schools and colleges. Commercial awareness is very, very important. Whatever business you do today, you need to have basic commercial awareness. I am not saying that you must be an expert in reading the P&L and balance sheet, but when he used the word CAGR, how many of you know what is CAGR? Compounded annual growth rate, but how to calculate that? I have seen a lot of finance guys don't know how to calculate CAGR, but they present CAGR. So having the ability to understand the commercial awareness is very important. Adaptability is the huge thing in today's world. Like you have to be ready to adapt to the changing situations. The context, the situations are changing very quickly nowadays. So are you prepared for that? And I think for that, colleges and universities need to do some sort of partnerships, MOUs with the industry, with the NGOs, with the startups, and give a real life exposure to the students and academia as far as the this exposure is concerned. So I think these are some of the things. I will not talk too much about this topic.
Sure,
Thanks.
sure. Thank you. Next goes to Santosh, bridging the skill void. Reports suggest, we have just seen that 50% of engineering grads aren't job ready. From your perspective as a CEO and founder, what is the single biggest gap between the output which is coming from academia and skill demanded rapidly by the IT firms like yours?
Yeah, I think I will talk, I'll try answering this question in the perspective of the size what we are into. Like say, there are companies like TCS and Tech Mahindra, they have over the years established an art of what they call as a fresher program or whatever they want to, because in couple of months they will train everything and then prepare the fresh talent and make them deployable or billable. But the problem compounds at our level in the sense that we can't really afford to have 2 months of a trained programming and those kind of things. And then that is where we expect the academia to give us slightly prepared, not fully. I mean, even after 2.5 decades into IT industry, I cannot say that I know everything. So at least some prepared talent. So now, what is the difference? Is that the academia is more theory. That is how it should be. I mean, I'm not questioning the academia here. And like say from set principles or set defined understandings or assumptions. We make we take that still there, yeah. So we make some assumptions and then arrive at the conclusion, but then typically the industry is not like that. I mean, the biggest thing is that there is ambiguity. So ability to work under unknown scenarios, and these are small things. But now, the good part actually is that last 5-6 years, the connection between academia and industry has increased, and that's the reason I think you are having me a startup founder like me having and then talking about it. So this gives a different perspective, both for me as well as to you guys. And while there is a difference in terms of what students are and then what industry needs, certainly there is a preparation needed. Please note, I'm not talking about I need people in Python programming or a Java programming. That's a secondary thing. I mean, what I'm talking about is the readiness, and then slightly there is a little bit of a work to be done, and such programs or such interactions with industry, closely working with industry, I think it will bridge the gap. While I say that there is a gap, the good part is that there is an effort going towards that to bridge that gap. So that's what it is. So for me, or people like a smaller size of the entrepreneurs, there is a ray of hope, and we really would like to welcome these kind of integrations which bridge the gap between academia and in the industry. Thank you. Hello. Coming to Vrunda now. This is more towards the wellness and a productivity link. As you heard, my life at Persistent, an employee wellness advocate, how do you believe focusing on student well-being and fitness during academic years directly translates into more productive and job-ready workforce upon their completing their graduation?
Okay, I think it's a brilliant question. So, I read this brochure here and it says, this, knowledge is power, right? So with the esteemed organizations which you are studying from, okay, and the faculty which is taking a lot of efforts, including these kind of a channel platform to get you all to, I'm sure you all will do excellent, right? So when you come inside the organizations like us, you'll be able to manage your work very easily, okay? To me, the bigger question is, along with the way you manage your works, you'll also have to manage your energy to do the work and your emotions to sustain the culture, right? So to me, the package is very simple, right? So if you're studying and you have your curriculum, it has got a bouquet of activities which you do, or bouquet of subjects which you teach, okay? So if I take an example of car, so if you take a car, if you drive a car, you will need everything in it. You will need tires, you will need petrol, you will need keys, you will need brakes, all of it, okay? Similarly, when you think of yourself, you are a package. And what will help you in the corporate is, of course, the knowledge, but along with it, it will also help you if the whole package of physical well-being, the social well-being, the mental well-being, the spiritual well-being, the financial well-being, and the social well-being will be helpful, okay? For you all as students and the college perspective, I will not touch upon the spiritual well-being or the financial well-being aspect of it at all. What I'll tell you is, and I'll tell you why you will need it, okay? I'll give you very simple examples because I see a lot of students sitting here. If you have to just come to the campus and you start working, the sheer commute is different. Yeah? You have to have energy to come down to the meeting at 9 o'clock after you commute for 1 hour and 2 hours. That's the first thing. The second thing is you'll have extended long hours. You will work with clients who are not based in India. They'll be sitting in the US. You'll have different shifts to work with. You have to manage that energy there. You also have to ensure that you give your deadlines. So that energy or the stamina to work is the basic there. Okay? And you cannot, kind of compromise on that. Because if you I'll just help you understand this in a simple language. Suppose at the age of something, okay, say whatever age, 40, 50, you've got ample of money. Every money, what you need. But you cannot move. It's of no use, right? Similarly, you have everything. Knowledge is there. You have your CGPA. You've got everything. You've come down to the academic. But you don't have the energy to do the work. It doesn't help you, okay? The second important thing is the mental well-being or the emotional well-being. Because, it is very important to understand how do you work in the ecosystem, right? And when you're working in an ecosystem, it is very important to see again, can you take the feedbacks which are given to you? Okay, can you really say yes? Because the generation here is an Insta generation. The only thing happens is a thumbs up. And that is not what happens in corporate. That's the huge gap, okay? You will have, because we deliver on live projects. We're not here to just, give you all instant gratifications. So are you in that position? Are you prepared yourself to take the feedback, which is very constructive, work on it, not get instant clarification and gratification, respect the policies which you already have in the company, which will not allow you to get, recognition every second day or an award every third day or get a promotion every single 6 months or 1 year, okay? So will you be able to do that is what is the biggest thing which I would require. And hence I feel that what is more required is the energy. How do you manage your energy and how do you manage your emotions when you come down to the workplace along with the know-how which you have. I think that's all from my end.
Milind sir, call me Vishal, please. Done.
I want you to add that in your LinkedIn also. So, cultivating a job-ready mindset. As a certified Gallup Strength and Emotional Intelligence coach, what core behavioral and emotional intelligence skills do you find missing in the graduates, be it engineering or management graduates, and how can the academia prepare for it, especially typically developing these critical skills alongside the technical knowledge?
Thank you. Thank you for that great question. So, lot we have spoken about mindset, so I'm not going to elaborate more on that because there's one book you must pick up. The book title itself is Mindset. Easy. We have spoken about mindset. The book title is Mindset, written by Dr. Carroll, right? And this is not only for the students, this is for the faculties also, right? Students, you must also pick up one more book. The book is very amazing name, Make Your Bed. Make Your Bed. It is written by Williams McRaven. He's a retired Marine Admiral Head of Navy of America. But a very amazing book. Read that. Just took 2 lessons out of that. So mindset, as a leadership Gallup leadership coach, I have always seen this that almost like 7 to 8 individuals out of 10 don't know what is their inherent natural talent. And if I have to do this dipstick for a nation also, for a country, we also may not cross the number 5. 5 is still an upper number. So if we don't know about what is our inherent natural talent or strength, what we do what others are telling us. And that's the reason we don't know whether why I'm not successful, why I'm not happy, why I'm not enjoying doing that, right? And a simple definition of if you're aware about your talent and strength, and if you're doing something where you will forget about time, you'll not look at your watch. Remember in your childhood days, if you love painting and you do painting till night 2, 3, right? So you still enjoy it. So it's not about painting, it's about creativity, something like that. So last 10 years I have seen that I try to help students, individuals to discover their inherent natural talent and strength. Now that's not the only thing. Talent and strength is moreover like a muscle which we all of us have. But if I don't exercise, what will happen? It will still be there. So we must also start investing our time and efforts into doing that, right? That's my second inputs about that. So I started with mindset, then discovering your natural talent and strength. And if you want to do that, pick another couple of books are there of Gallup, but 2 or 3 are there which gives you a assessment also, which tells you what is your top 5 talent strength. Discover your Strength Finder 2.0, Strength-Based Leadership. These are some of the books. Pick up any book which you feel is closer to that. So that's one piece about that. But the most important piece I would like to bring it back, attaching to that is, and this is I have practiced it by the way, right? Learning is a journey. It cannot happen that you did your undergrad, you did your masters, and you got a job and you have done well, right? You might be even the medalist in your batch, but when you go to the corporate world, you realize there are many, many around you who are far superior in that. Simple as that. institute or a college who will give you a medal on your numbers, on your scorings, what you get in the subject. Whereas the corporate side will always evaluate you on your performance, not what you remember. Nobody's asked you, can you give me a 10 question? These are 10 questions, like Vrinda said, these are 10 questions. And if you're done well, you get a promotion. No, nobody's going to ask you that. They're going to ask you how you are applying your learning, how you are emerging with your mindset to demonstrate your wisdom, what you have learned, the application of your wisdom. How are you trying to be with the other member of your team as a team member and trying to get a collective result for the team, right? Many, many such things will be there. It's always advisable that you learn all this thing here, right, in this institute, because when you are in the institute, nobody's going to penalize you, right? Maximum what has happened is your faculty might get a little angry on you, your friends may not talk to you. That's the max it will happen. But when you fail in the corporate, you lose time, you lose opportunities and many things, and that start hitting your mindset again, right? So this is my strong advice. I'll come back again. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, coming to Gopal sir. I generally, in the flow I am talking about it. Don't take, I'm elder than all of you, so it doesn't matter. So, with over 25 years, I wrote 24, he changed and made it to 25. Yeah?
I've gotten
So,
older.
so with over 25 years of experience in IT sector, particularly BFSI, digital transformation, what's specific new age digital competencies, soft and hard skills, most critically missing today in the engineering graduates? And what's your take on that? How would you advise them?
So I think I come from transformation background, as I said, right? And what Sunil sir and Vishal sir said is very, very pertinent when it comes to certain soft skills that are required in the industry when you are looking at transforming either your own business or your client's business. I think, and I'll draw some inspiration from both of you, if I may, in terms of the mindset. I feel there are three, there are many traits that way. There are many traits in terms of, your soft skills of communication and soft skill of networking and presentation skills and all of that, right? But there are three that stand out in my view. The first, and Vishal sir covered this to an extent, learnability. How much time you are actively investing into upgrading your knowledge and your skills. Both these are required. Knowledge is something that you can read it from the books and from the YouTube videos and all that, but skill is something that you have to constantly apply. And that learnability is extremely important. That's the first one. The second one I feel which is very important is resilience. Resilience means ability to come back very quickly from the setbacks or failures. I don't expect a smooth curve in your professional life. No one will have it easy. No one will have it straight. And you will find those moments of despair, moments of disappointment. How well you come out of it. How well you learn from that, from those mistakes and avoid repeating those. That will decide, where you reach in the end. That's the second important character. And the third important thing is positive engagement. Now, this is extremely important in a company situation, in an organizational situation. See, all of us have reasons to be unhappy and dissatisfied with maybe I'm not getting enough pay package, maybe I'm not getting enough responsibility, maybe I'm not getting enough wherewithal and support from the management that I'm working in. All of us will have those grievances. All of us will have complaints. And it is nothing wrong with it. Being dissatisfied is not a problem, but being disaffected is a problem. Many of the younger employees that I feel is they are like checked out, they are disconnected. I don't think that's the best use of your talent. You need to be connected, you need to be engaged with a positive mindset. I'm not saying that everything will work out well for you in the organization, and you are free to move to some other organization, some other setup if you want to. That's not a problem at all. But remember this, till the time you are there in the system, be positively engaged. So these are the top 3, I would say, are the most important characters, attributes or markers for a better future.
Thank you. Yes. Now coming to Praveen sir. As an industry advisory board member for several leading institutes, including COEP, VIIT and ASM, and a global delivery leader at TCS, what are the most significant practical challenges you have observed aligning academic curriculum, current industry requirements, and what collaborative models could work better according to you, and in your experience, what worked better?
Thank you. It's a good question. So first I'll talk about, while I'm working as a global delivery head, why do I need to invest my time, particularly weekends, coming on to campuses like this? So I come from a family wherein I am the only engineer, rest all are into academics. My brother, sister, my father, my mother, all my uncles on paternal side, maternal side, lot of cousins, their spouses. If we have a family gathering, there are all teachers, it's only me who is the odd man out. So I find myself very comfortable into academic space, and that is the reason every month, at least 1 or 2 weekends, you will see me in one of the campus. So having said this, I started doing my more interactions with academics after I was back from Australia in Pune. Pune, we call it Vidyacha Maher. So a lot of my classmates or the college friends are into various roles into academics. And one of the discussion with one of the dean at VIIT, I was just in free flow telling him what is it that academics should do. And he said, though he was my classmate, he said, Praveen, why don't you mentor me? Because those days, almost 10, 12 years back, the focus of institutes was, how can we increase CTC of our students? How can we increase percentage of the students placed? And then I gave him very simple mantra. If you focus only on the outcome, saying that I want to place my students, without realizing or without analyzing why my students are not getting placed, without getting into details of what is it that industry needs, right? Without getting the context of what we are producing, right? With new education policy, I think it is now mandate for all the institutes to engage with academics. But I see lot of institutes, if you ask about challenge, they are just doing it as a tick in the box. That doesn't help. That doesn't help the institute, that doesn't help the students of the institute, and that doesn't help the industry. So what is it that is needed, and what changes we have brought in, or what inputs I share whenever I am in the campuses is, of course, we started our discussions with patients, very important. If we start interacting with industry, doesn't mean that your placement will increase from 50% to 100%. You need to have a patience, you need to give some time to have impact of those changes which you are bringing into your campus. The first important thing we talked about, mindset. So mindset, the entrepreneurial mindset, irrespective of whether you do job or you start your own startup, that entrepreneurial mindset is very important. Sir talked about the attitude or the positivity at workplace, very important. If you get into a job and keep crying every day, how all things are wrong and not helping me grow, will never grow, right? So coming back to academics, I think there is a huge change that I have seen in last decade plus, almost most of the institutes. There is huge focus on engagement of industry with academia. There are a lot of industry experts who are volunteering and investing their time and energy. They are sharing or giving it back. There are a lot of leaders who are thinking that the kind of struggles we have gone through, the next generation should not go through the same. And that is why they come and share their experiences. In my view, more focus on practical learnings, more focus for MBA students on solving real life case studies, getting engaged with industry, getting involved into internship, more focus on internships so that they are put into live projects, more focus on solving your own set of problems as a project. For engineering students, there would be 1,000 problems if they look around. The technology is evolving at the exponential pace. 2 years back, 3 years back, probably very few guys were talking about AI. Now everyone is talking not only about generative AI or AI. People are talking about agentic AI and whatnot. And very soon you will hear more new terms, more new technology stuff. So what is needed is openness to learn things. The challenge, coming back to what we face, by the time we train or we help institutes with upgrades into a technology with what is happening now, by the time they implement, new things are coming up. I'll give a very simple example. In COEP, 10 years back, we started postgraduate diploma in ERP, and I am on their industry advisory board. So we helped design a curriculum for the postgraduate diploma in ERP. That was very relevant, contextual at that point in time. 2 years down the line, there was so much change. The SAP, which was more focus of that PGDRP, it has evolved from ECC to S4. Now from S4, SAP has adopted Gen AI. So things are changing so rapidly. If they don't keep all the industry advisory board members involved, engaged, and update their curriculum on real-time basis, I think whatever skills we develop in the institute, they will become irrelevant. So the agility is what I believe is needed into the whole academic system. The pace at which we adopt these recent technologies into industry, the same pace should come into academics, and more collaboration, I'm sure, will help.
Thank you. Yeah, definitely, it gives insights. Now, the most difficult job to Dr. Meghna. But before she starts, let me quickly share some of the points which had come up during the discussion. Patience, mindset, changing context, language of business, okay, looking at commercial aspects, looking at ensuring what Santosh has said is typically invest in yourself to be ready. Like even today, in my experience, the big companies or big giants also do not want to invest for 3 months training. And that's something which we all are realizing. So you need to be ready to use, ready to straight away start on the things. Okay, you need to be coming in as a full package, okay, mental well-being, physical well-being, various aspects which Vrunda talked about. Vishal sir referred to your books, which are typically talking about how would you be knowing your natural talents and how you can discover them. Okay, that's pretty important. Learning is a lifelong journey. Evolve yourself, okay, coming to 3 important things: learnability, resilience, and positive engagement, said by Gopal sir. And Praveen sir said that be agile, okay, things are changing fast, have more internship, collaboration, ensure that you are able to have the ready again with the latest technologies. Yeah, based on this, now to Dr. Meghna to give her side of it, what world they see inside, and how do you respond to this kind of challenges which are around you.
Thank you for summarizing it for me. And in the very first round, I have got so many inputs and I was thinking, ye bhi karna chahiye, and this is very helpful to our students. So basically, I would say, I speak from both the aspects of student as well as faculty because they are equally important for us. And what Pune University, typically I talk about Pune University, as we are affiliated, all our 3 campuses are affiliated to SPPU. What happens, we do give platform to our teachers to get into syllabus design and everything, but as sir rightly mentioned, the syllabus designing takes very slow, it's a very lengthy and slow process. So wherein by the time we are touching the new technology, another has come in the market. So now Pune University has given a liberty to all the institutes to have the autonomy, and our engineering college is always having autonomy, and we are in the process of autonomy. So hopefully we would be able to take up the advantage of this and inculcate the new things in the whatever are coming for our students. Now in the race of making student our complete package, somewhere what we miss upon is like making them expert in one particular field. We want them to be part of incubation and startup as well. We want to give them exposure of that. We want them to get the jobs through internships. We want them to be in social responsibility through various contributions to the society. But in this, somewhere I feel that we are not making them focus what really you look upon for. So when we are giving, and another thing, like NEP very well focuses that students are open to opt any subjects like arts or drawings or anything they wish for, like the Western countries give them the chance. So in this, we as an institution should give them liberty to opt for 2 or 3 internships, wherein they do one internship related to their core subject and another one on the area of their interest. So by the time in the 2nd, 3rd year of engineering, they at least know कि मुझे क्या अच्छा लगता है. I want to carry on. Otherwise, what happens by the end, they come towards the end, they don't know what they have to do because they are having exposure to everything. So these internships have to be very much more experience-based and focused. Similar way, when we come to talk to about MBA, in 1st semester, they get exposure to all the specialization. And maximum, like in my campus or across Pune University, if you say, 60% students would opt for finance without any thought. Finance is the most common specialization. The reason is finance में नहीं मिला तो marketing में job definitely will get. But marketing से finance में नहीं आ सकते, finance में marketing पे जा सकते, ये mindset है. So if we change our thing, like we have 3 months internship and we give them 1 winter internship and 1 summer internship, experience in both the areas of your choice, and then find out which one you like better, which one will give you better career opportunity. So I feel the students will be able to get better placed and have a clarity what they are looking for the life. From industry, yeah, always the inputs have been there. Industry has been representing on our board of studies, internally at college development board, but many a times this all remains on paper. We need to bring it really into practice and inculcate more their suggestions into our syllabus, and if not in the syllabus, somehow the certification, the courses which we are giving as value addition, they should be given to the students, and this certificate should really hold weightage in the industry when the students go there. So I guess that way we would be able to bring out better students who are employable and with all the skill set what industry requires. This is what I feel.
Very nice. Thank you. Students, I hope you are enjoying it. Last row is not sleeping, I believe. Yeah? You are awake? You find this is interesting? So then I'll continue, otherwise. Yeah? All right, so coming to the second questions. Sunil sir, now this time we'll take the answers more agile or quicks. Yeah. So accounting for future, as a global chair of IMA, what management accounting skills do you believe are most critical for today's graduates? How can academia industry collaborate, integrate this future focused competencies into curriculum?
So thanks Gopal asking this question, but she said her students will love this. So I'll take a little bit more time to explain this.
Given.
But before I answer this question, all the discussion what we had in the first panel, I remember that we are in 2025 now, but there was a guy called Rumi, who was a Persian poet in 13th century. He said the same thing in that century. He said that, yesterday I was clever, I wanted to change the world. Yesterday I was clever, I wanted to change the world. Today I am wise, I want to change myself. So we are talking same thing, we have to change ourselves, and that's what we are trying to do. Now, finance profession has completely gone through a toss. You know toss? We all understand toss, right? It can fall anywhere. this way or that way. Finance profession of today is absolutely changed. When I came into the finance, my maximum time was spent in bookkeeping, accounting, reconciliation, and all that nonsense stuff. Today, no one does the reconciliation. Only computer does the reconciliation. People like him, and people like that. They have ensured our life is much better. But I always tell there are two terminologies, technical know-how and practical do-how. So the practical do-how of finance is taken over by ERP systems and whatever. Entire bookkeeping, accounting, reconciliation. Today, even we have robotics process automation, RPA. Every single thing, audit, everything is done by computers. So what has happened? The technical know-how, which is the technical knowledge or expertise of finance professional, that still needs to be there. And it should be there, and it is there. But the problem is there is too much time available on the hands of finance professional, because the basic job of doing the bookkeeping and reconciliation is taken over by the machines. So the skill today required for a finance profession is how to be a strategic partner with the management. So you have a time now, because your monthly closing is done on day one. Infosys releases their annual accounts within 3 days, 1 day. When I was working in big companies, it used to take me 3 months to close the books of accounts and do the audit. Today it is done in 1 day. So I've saved my 3 months' time, right? So how do you ensure that quality time is used very well? That's number one. Number two, technology is moving so fast, the finance profession also need to move so fast. And he knows this very well. And every single decision of technology is given by finance professional, budget allocation I'm talking, and every single decision of finance professional is coming out of technology output, which is your ERP system. So of today, a finance professional who does not understand technology, according to me, is a useless person. You might be a chartered accountant, you might be a cost accountant, management accountant, if you do not know how to work with the technology. And when I say technology, I'm not talking only about the ERP system, I'm also talking about the data analytics, I'm also talking about the Gen AI, I'm also talking about the cyber security and fraud management. You have to need to know all these trends very well. I was the chairman of IMA's global chair, you know, and IMA is 140,000 members worldwide, 200 countries. During my tenure, I launched a competency framework for finance professional worldwide. This was launched on 29th of June 2025 in Phoenix in Arizona. And that framework, what we have tried to create is that what are the key skills required for a finance professional in today's world, changing world. First is we said leadership. There are 10 of them. I'll just reading them. I will not explain. Leadership is the most important. Today, a finance professional cannot be only an accountant. He needs to be a leader. And when you say leader means he needs to inspire the people, he needs to communicate well, he needs to have a conflict management, all those type of things. Reporting and control, obviously being a finance professional, he needs to understand reporting and control. But very important today is professional ethics and values. Ethics is becoming so important in today's world, and you see nowadays what happens on many companies' board. So ethics is another trait which is required as a qualification or as a important aspect. Strategic planning and performance was always part of finance. We are still keeping that. Business acumen and operations. A finance professional today need to understand how the business is run. And here I'm not talking micromanagement, but a finance professional should know that how the industry works, how the factory works, what is CAGR, how it is calculated, all those type of things. Data analytics and data insights, very, very important. Today, when finance professional does the future planning, when I used to do future planning, I used to do based on the past data of last 3 years or 4 years. But today, because of Gen AI, you can generate the future data and create the future forecasting, which is an interesting scenario, I'm telling you. Cyber security, data privacy, digital transformation and innovation, his expertise. Digital transformation is happening so quickly now. When I was a CFO, I did what, 5 ERP implementation in period of 15 years. But now these people do digital transformation every alternate year, I think, or maybe every year. So are you prepared for that? And last but not the least is sustainability. You know, sustainability is a new buzzword on the horizon. So finance professionals need to understand what is sustainability, how to account for sustainability, and governance related to sustainability. So one small request, what is happening, ma'am, in the world today is when I deal with a lot of colleges, universities, and on day-to-day basis with IMA and CMA, micro credentials are becoming very, very important. Along with your degree, how many micro credentials you have got. So we have tied up with, let's say Symbiosis College in Pune, BCom with CMA, with Christ University, BCom with CMA, or with BMCC, BCom with CMA. But that's, you get qualified international qualification. In addition to that, you have to have a micro credential like data analytics, sustainability, how to use Excel, for example. All those types of things are becoming very, very important. What I will say that tomorrow's finance professional is not only a translator of data, but he is going to be a trusted business partner of the future. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I want to change the order, come to Gopal. Okay, you are associated intimately with AI. Okay, AI revolution, rather I would say, rather disruption that is taking place. While I see a sentiment of anxiety even in the professionals and students which are trying to learn this technology, what would you advise the students and young professionals how they can deal with AI? How should they prepare themselves to face or go over this particular transition?
So yeah, just a quick show of hands. How many of you believe that AI is likely to take the jobs away from us? Just show of hands. How many of you believe?
Nobody feels.
Okay, I can see a few hands. I can see. Okay, how many of you believe AI will create new jobs? Okay, that's a very, very optimistic situation, and I'm happy to see that. Although I think the reality could be far more complex, because as they say in every advertisement, terms and conditions apply. So that is the reality. And I think we need to pivot our thinking from what AI can do to my job to what I need to do with AI. So it's a technology finally available. It's a unique technology, and if you see Noel Harare, speaking about it, it's very, very scary actually. But I think it's still finally in the hands of us as to how we can put it to best use for us. And again, there are 2 or 3 important aspects that we need to consider while dealing with it. And if you look at it, the half-life period of technology by some estimates has dropped to 2 to 4 years. Do you understand half-life period of technology? It means how quickly a technology is getting obsolete. And that is really, really fast. And that's happening in this world of AI even more rapidly. So again, it comes to your investment of time into learning. Just the other day I was reading that there is 1 hour of training or 1 hour of skilling that is required for every person today in a day. In the AI world, it could lead to 2 hours. So 2 hours out of 8 hours of your active time in the office, or 9 hours, you need to invest into upgrading your skills. That's what it is. Now let me just come back to my own, some of the experiences of how this is panning out, okay? And this is my own personal anecdotes. You can see, by the way, lots of reports and other theoretical constructs and models. For example, there is very beautiful report rolled out by BCG, I think a few weeks back, and you can check it on Google from Boston Consulting Group. Anyway, coming to my experience, so I was speaking to this CIO from a Canadian bank, one of the top 3 Canadian banks. And what he was saying was very interesting. He was saying that we are transforming our contact center operations. Contact center, this is call centers essentially, right? And we are transforming our contact center operations and enabling them with AI. But all the people and all the service agents who are providing the customer service, we want them to pivot to sales. So we want them to actually do cross-selling, upselling of the customers. We want them to inform the customers about the products. We want them to use the AI and data to actually predict what kind of services this particular customer who is calling me for, maybe for some complaint, is likely to buy from me. And then, increase my sale. So you see this pivot? You see the new skill that is required even for a contact center agent? That's the kind of future that that we are likely to see. Another example I'll give. There was one project that we did recently. Now, some of you are from, or many of you, I'm told, that are from the technology background. So, you know the remediation project, upgrading the version of a software currency from one level to another level, right? So we were doing this work for, say upgrading our Angular framework or some of the Java, SDK frameworks, etc. And what one of our smart person did was, he worked for 3-4 days rather. He went back and forth, used trial and error, and finally came out with a set of prompts which can be applied to the GitHub Copilot and AI engine basically, and that can do a lot of automation. 80-90% of the remediation was done. So there are these kinds of drastic examples also. So in future, what you want to do, is how you can use AI for your own career advancement. I'll leave you with the last point here. The future will be not for generalists. I think, Sunil sir was mentioning this. It will be for specialists. You will have to be hyper specialized, in fact, in certain area of your choice, which is actually, you cannot be dislodged by any kind of automation, any kind of artificial intelligence. That kind of specialization, and that needs, not just formal trainings, education, masters and PhDs, but actually continuous investment and a very dedicated focus on what you really want to do and where you want to excel. It also goes back to what Major Vishal was saying about, I know yourself better. Find out what you really like to do and what you are good at. So it's actually a kind of synthesis of many of these factors, and those are getting even more prominent and important in the AI world. So that's where I'll leave it.
Sure. Santosh sir, coming to you. The GCC and offshore advantage. With your success in establishing GCC delivery center, optimizing profitability through process excellence, how can academia better prepare students for specific skills and demands, since there's a GCC buzzword around, because every conference which is happening either talks about AI or GCC. So what's your take on it?
Okay. So with your permission, Mutalik sir, slightly change this question.
Sure.
Because I am seeing my young Gen Z friends face के ऊपर एकदम लिखा हुआ है, यार ये सब theory छोड़ दो, हम figure out कर लेंगे, हमको क्या करना है वो बताओ.
Good.
I'm seeing that because I have one Gen Z at home, so basically I can read it. So the better preparation, I will say, academia and this preparation is from a little bit of a contextual knowledge about what these companies do or what this technology do. And second, little bit of a technology knowledge, ki what is this technology, and third important thing is soft skills. I don't mean ki soft skill matlab ekdam tagada English, okay. I don't need a person who will tell me in Oxford English that I can't do this job. I don't need him or her. I need a person who can, even in a 50% Marathi or a Hindi, he can tell me that, sir, मैं कल तक इसको करके दूंगा आपको. I need the second person. What I mean by that is not communication, मतलब एकदम तोड़फोड़ वाली English, but I do attitude. So थोड़ा मुतालिक सर का परमिशन लेके मैं आपको एक्सटेंड करता हूँ. आपको क्या करना चाहिए अभी, मतलब like say you are in second or third year, whatever.
You are permitted to.
Okay.
You are talking to
So,
their advantage.
So मतलब ये theory तो मैं शाम तक दे सकता हूँ, but the point is LinkedIn, fantastic tool. Go and reach out to all the people. अगर आपको Microsoft में जाना है, go and write to CTO saying that, sir, I am so and so, I want to come and do an internship with you. 10 बार ना बोलेगा बंदा, 11th time he will say yes. Please use LinkedIn. Second thing, write a fantastic message. उसके लिए भी ChatGPT आपको help करता है. How to reach out to CEO of a company or COO of a company. Reach out to him or her. मतलब academia कर रहा है, sir कर रहा है, madam कर रहा है. That's all fantastic. वो मतलब हम भी आते हैं, हमसे भी बात करो. That's okay. But what is also important is what you do. Right? Reach out. And then read something. मतलब ऐसे एकदम उठ के नहीं जाना है कंपनी के बारे में. सर आप ही बता दो आप क्या करते हो. Not like that. Because like say if you come to me and talk to me कि सर आप ना स्प्रिंग अप में ऐसा करते हो, है ना, I love that person. Rather than saying that सर आप ही बता दो क्या करते हो, एक बार चाय पिला दो, आप लेते हो कि नहीं लेते हो. Not like that. Like say come prepared. संतोष आपने ये किया है. Everybody in this world would love if you talk a little bit about them. right? So write that fantastic LinkedIn message to a CEO, founder, startup में अगर काम करना है तो startup को लिखो, can I do an internship with you guys? As I said, 10 CEOs ना बोलेंगे, 11th will say yes, come. And then उसके बाद क्या करना है? Like आपको internship मिली या job मिली, don't say that मुझे ना 9 to 6 काम करना है, 6 o'clock after that I will kick my chair. नहीं, ऐसा मत लिखो उसको, right? I am just purposefully deviating from the topic. Like say जाने के बाद क्या करना है? I think there are HR, like say विशाल जी हैं, वो सब HR आपको help करते हैं, मदद करते हैं. You will see the other people and then learn. But मैं आपको ये बता रहा हूँ कि अंदर जाने के लिए क्या करना है. Please use LinkedIn. Just study, ask people कि यार internship कैसे मिली आपको. Then like say if somebody says कि Python, learn Python. Not like okay मुझे सब कुछ आता है, नहीं. The सामने वाला person knows Python in and out. Says कि सर मैंने 6 month काम किया है, मुझे इतना आता है. That is how you will get inside. And then like say, I mean if you want to know the exact answer like what Mutalik sir asked, like say how to build this academia and GCC collaboration, let's meet after the dinner. मैं after the lunch मैं dinner तक आपके साथ बात करूँगा वो topic के ऊपर. Sorry, I diverted,
so
but वो उधर वो चेहरे पे मुझे दिख रहा था.
One thing I understood: if you have to be entrepreneur, you have to be also a salesperson. Yeah, out of the way to give the answers. So now coming from there to Praveen sir, okay, leveraging methodologies for employability. Now this is also one more topic where I would like to kind of get his thoughts. You know, Six Sigma, Kaizen, 5S, all these are for the operational efficiency. How can a practical application of this or a continuous improvement philosophy, all this stuff will help students to be job ready? I hope the question is clear to you.
Yes, and I think it's good question. Thank you for asking that. Students have to be inquisitive. They have to, whichever problem statements you are working on, if you do not have, you need to find out one. Santosh did talk about how to approach. Just approaching, getting an opportunity may not help you stay there or may not help you stay relevant. So these are the methodologies. I'm not sure if in academics you are teaching them, but these are all process improvement or continuous improvement methodologies which can show a significant impact. For example, 6 months you are doing programming on Java or Python. What impact your programs have made? You give it to ChatGPT, ChatGPT will give you a program. But how are you leveraging that ChatGPT program and what is the purpose for which that code is written? Along with purpose, what is the impact of that code once it is deployed into a system is on the company or is it impacting the society? Stepping one step back, if you look at all the industries are serving to the society, right? And that's where our founder, Jamshedji, has mentioned in his vision, right? The whole purpose of existence of industry is to serve the society. If society is not there, industries will not exist. And that is why most of the Tata Group entities, if you look at it, we talked some time back about ethics, right? Most of the Tata Group companies are following ethical principles, and that's why at Tata Sons level, our tagline is leadership with trust, right? So coming back, how these methodologies students can use, students have to focus more and more on project-based learning. You should work on active problem statements, whether you are management students or you are engineering students. There are so many events happening nowadays. You guys are lucky. There are so many events happening all around the year, everywhere on this planet. Because of technology, there is no constraint you need to be in person. There are so many virtual events happening. Use these tools. Try to gain the contextual knowledge about the project on which you are working. Try to be creative and change and measure the impact. I think that's how you can make a difference, would be my short answer.
Thank you.
And I just want to excuse myself. I have other commitments. I will have to leave. I would have loved to be part of this discussion, but thank you for having me here.
Sure. Before he goes, anybody has any question for him?
Yes,
We
I
don't
can
leave
spend
the
few
panelists
minutes
so
if
easily.
there are any questions.
Yeah, go ahead.
First of all, good morning, sir. And I must say that it's very rare to say, rare and inspiring at the same time to see the personalities which are not expert in their own field, but also living a good life, like you are athlete or ma'am are a lifestyle and fitness coach, national level coach we have. So my question is that what habits or routines you would like to suggest us, or what you have practiced during your academics or journey that may help us to become the person who will survive in the industry and may excel, or what platforms or resources we can follow to stay current with the evolving trends in industry and become a good personality.
Wow, so many questions in one. Huh?
He doesn't want you to leave. Yeah.
So if I have to be honest, when I was a student, I don't think I was expecting anything, or whatever I am following now was following those days. We have started following these passions, or we have started focusing on our health only when we saw impact of it on other peers around us. If I have to talk about myself, when I was in Australia, every day I used to walk. Every weekends I used to run. I used to play cricket with my son, who was learning cricket those days. And that was keeping me busy and keeping me fit. So I was only 63 kg till the time I was in Australia, since I got married. After coming to India, those 3-4 years we were badly missing all nice, healthy or unhealthy Indian foods, Indian snacks, and the impact of it was within 1 year I gained 10 kg. And that 10 kg weight was not only because of Indian snacks, but because of the lifestyle I was living. I was shuttling between UK and India. Almost every 3 weeks I used to be in India, 3 weeks I used to be in UK. So you can imagine no food on time, no enough sleep. Whatever comes in a plate, you just finish it for the sake of finishing it. And that all has resulted into an impact on the health. If I am not healthy, I will not be able to contribute the way I was contributing earlier. And that's when the initiative, as I mentioned earlier, our chairman started. And he also started only after he felt the impact of it. He was diagnosed with diabetes. His physicians advised him to start some activity, so he went into running. And that's how he initiated this initiative, Fit for Life. And it appealed me at right point in time, and that's how I got into this habit. So my day starts at 5 a.m. Tomorrow is going to start little early because I'll be participating in CME. And because of discipline, they want me to reach there by 4:30 a.m. in the morning, so we'll have to get up at 4. Otherwise, I start at 5. But then all the event days, normally I get up, lot of times I get up at 3. In fact, when I was running 5 years back, Lonavala Ultra Run, it started somewhere in the morning at 3. So I have to get up at 2. So you can imagine what time I can go to bed. So God has blessed me good sleep. If I want to sleep here, 5 minutes down the line, you will see I'll be in deep sleep. So that's how I have started my fitness journey, and that's how I keep motivating all my members. Along with me, if you follow me on LinkedIn, you can see hundreds of my teammates are running with me into various events, which is also a motivation factor rather than me running alone. Solo runs are very boring, very painful. When you run in a groups, you get the energy from others, and we enjoy. I hope I tried to answer part of your question. You had few more questions which will get covered in subsequent discussions. Thank you.
So on the lighter side, I will say, we all have done the mistakes. You have a chance to learn and correct them.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you for summarizing. And thank you guys. Really enjoyed the discussion. Thank you for having me here. And wonderful to meet you all. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Sir. Thank you so much. Well, Vrunda, question is coming for you. We are still there, and we are going to continue for next at least 15-20 minutes. Is that okay? All right. So, Vrunda, for you, identifying essential skills for employee relationship, engagement, interpersonal aspects, and typically developing them, because as said, typically you work as a team, and how this particular critical skills or competencies can be developed during the academic, kind of time.
Sure, it's an interesting one. But let me, I like Santosh the way you have infused the energy in the system. I could see the smiles. I could see, abhi kuch samajh mein aa raha hai, kind of things. Ki abhi acha ye karna hai. Types like at least one action item. So thank you so much. So if you've heard everybody, right, and if you heard Sunil talking, everybody talking, the great job which TechM does, or TCS is also doing, or Persistence is doing, they're changing the way it works, right? So with the AI or the technology, as ma'am was saying, from the green boards to the smart boards and the AI now, things are changing. So if you're at the age, you are at, say, something like a 20, 24, 22 kind of an age group, right? You're going to enter a marathon, okay? You're going to work for at least 35 years. If you're going to be an entrepreneur, more than that, okay? If you're going to be in a corporate, it will be 60. So 35 years to pakka you will work. And with the amazing healthcare industry which we have right now, our life expectancy will go 80 plus. We all will be very healthy, 80, 90 will be working till that. So you'll be working beyond that. So that's 35 plus another 20, 55 years. So you have to be prepared yourself for a marathon and not for a sprint. And hence, all of you will have to prepare them for marathons and not sprints, right? So I would say, that as a faculty, you'll have to take a role the parents did for us. They prepared us not only for the school or college or marriage or parenthood, they prepared us for life. And I would say as teachers and as faculty, you'll have to prepare them for life, or the career life is what I would say, or the entrepreneur journey or whatever they go into. The only reason to do this is, as everybody said, that technology is going to change like this. And by the time the industry and the academia bridges the gap, and you'll learn the new technology and you come down to us, it will be agentic AI se kuch aur ho jayega. So can you really chase that? And as Sunil said, if you were on the Rumi's quote which is there, can you change everything else? You can't. The only thing which you can change is yourself, okay? And everybody said you have to invest on it. Gopal talked about learning. You have to learn, you have to learn. You have to upskill, you have to go doing that. Mindset is important. But you know what, friends? Are you investing in yourself is my question, okay? So that investment is also very important. And that is the one which will keep you running this marathon, because it is not a sprint. Just think about it. You're sitting here today, you're going to sit here tomorrow after some years. It is a marathon, right? So what do you do for this, and what are the things? So the first thing the question which directly relates, if you come down to the corporates, what is going to help you as work as a team is collaboration. And that is the way to work right now. You cannot work in silos. You cannot work in, it's me and I'll do it, and this is my work given to me and I'll do it. No, it is not an assignment given to you all. You have to co-create it with it, okay? When you're doing collaboration, it means you have to respect what others are saying. You have to respect what you are saying. Also, you have to respect the generation. I know, I also have a daughter of 21. You will also respect people because they give you something. You will not respect them for the gray hairs which we have, right? You'll respect because I get something from them. It's not the way we respected our elders, it's not the way you respect us right now. And we know that because the parents have become friends and they're not parents anymore, right? So you don't have that bridge when you go and talk to us, when you come to corporates, it's like parents, it's like friends. So the respect is a different thing altogether. So you have to learn and you have to be a little mindful that the organization which you step in, You will have a certain way of working, a certain policy of working. You'll have to respect the deadlines. You'll have to respect what the others are saying. You have to respect the ethics which Sunil was talking about. You have to respect the governments which you are doing. You cannot do some things which are not. जुगाड़ नहीं चलता industry में. Real life में जुगाड़ नहीं चलता. Cut, copy, paste नहीं चलता. You have to use and leverage all the AI tools, but you cannot be the AI tools. So what I think, with all due respect, and I love this generation because they have amazing clarity. They have got beautiful interpersonal skills. They're very good at talking. The confidence is amazing. If I see the gentleman asking us a question, he was so confident, so crisp, so clear, clarity, nothing is a problem. Now, what is going to be a problem for you all is the ambiguity which you're going to work with. Because here you have, in the academia, you'll have term 1, term 2, okay? You'll have subjects, you know exactly the assignments you have to do, the things you're going to test on. When you come down to real life, it's going to be completely ambiguous. You will not know. There's no spoon feeding which will be done to you. There'll be no 1, 2, 3 given to you. And that is where you'll have to maneuver your way. Right? And that is where, when you do all of things, you'll have to take care of yourself. If you've heard Sadhguru talking about it, you'll have manuals for everything. But do you have a self-manual? When you're going to work on everything, you're going to have ambiguity, you'll have pressures, and you talk about stress and anxiety and depression, all of that, right? So if I see all of you all, in the night your day will start in the night, right? Post 10 a.m. and 11 a.m. and 1 a.m. and 2 a.m. That's when you are actually active. And that's when you will talk to your friends कि okay, इसने BT दिया, right? इसने ये किया, इसका ये vibe नहीं था, या ऐसा क्यों कर सकता है? Whatever ships you all go through, right? The different ships which you all sail. So you will have your friends talk to you at the midnight because you are in the same environment, right? When you come down to the organization, every one of you will be in different environments. It is very difficult for them to listen and understand. They'll give you a listening ear, but they may not understand and give you a solution. The solution will have to come from within. It is have to how you build your resilience through it. And then this is a time also when you learn your academia and hone your skills, you have to see how do I manage myself. How do I manage to learn and go through the stress? So what is stress? You have more work than what you can handle is stress. For somebody it will be stress, for somebody it will not be a stress. So you have to do something which is much more than your capacity or your ability is what is stressing you. That's about it, right? How do you manage that? Will things change? No. Will the deadline change? No. If the exam is on this date, it will be on that day. It will not be postponed for you, right? You have to study before the exam. So what you have to do? You have to study. Here you have to change. You have to change yourself and be capable of coping all those things. So there are many things which you can do right away, but I'll stop at the moment and answer this question for yourself. While you invest in yourself for the other thing, for the learning, also give it a little thought. What do I do now to invest in myself so that I can run this marathon, be resilient, be physically active, to cope up with everything which comes my way, which is ambiguity, which is going to be changing, the technology is going to change. I have to keep on learning. I have to have the right mindset. Okay, so and these answers will be different for everybody. It is not one answer, and that's what makes everybody unique, right? So it's something which you'll have to go back home and think about yourself.
Thank you. Vishal sir, coming to you. I'm doing it a little faster, maybe not giving a pause in between. Okay. With your experience in designing L&D initiatives that link HR with business strategy, what structured collaboration or any of the processes, models which L&D departments and universities can co-create for a future-ready talent?
Very good question, but I'm going to come again picking up what Santosh did is, let me answer this from two perspectives. One is from the faculty's perspective and second is from the student's perspective. But before I answer this question, I'm going to give you a very, very practical. I was listening to Vrinda madam very seriously, and trust me, when you listen to these kinds of practical experience, suggestions, advice, as a student, it is very difficult to accept also. मन में बहुत कुछ चल रहा है, and मन में एक सवाल बहुत जोरों से चल रहा है कि ये क्या मेरे को नौकरी देने वाला है क्या, right? मन में बहुत जोरों से चल रहा है, and it is true that some questions comes at a very later stage of life. But think about this: you are blessed that today you get so much of mentors who are coming here and they are telling you. So think about this: that the question which you're going to come a little later, you're getting answers right now. Right? You're getting answers right now. Think about that. So I'm going to leave you with first two thoughts. you should be very clear about which of those competencies are important for you. She mentioned so many of them. Sunil sir mentioned so many of them, right? Gopalji mentions about so many of them, so many. But can you define which are the competencies which are important for you all? This question is, by the way, for faculty also. Okay. Which are the competencies which are very, very important and essential for you? Write down that. Then comes, how will you learn them? Find, define, resilience kisi ne bata di, but how you will learn that? Which is the field where you will learn resilience, right? Which is the subject which has given you low score? Which is the presentation where you freezed? You didn't speak a single line. Which was the humiliation, recent humiliation, somebody, whether it is a teacher or no parent, who did with you? So that's second one. Third is where you will apply them. If you learn that, where you will apply? Are you clear about where you're going to apply, right? Otherwise, it will just be a bookish stuff that when you talk about communication, when you talk about XYZ competency, your L&D team is very, very good at defining competencies, right? They also don't know how to apply, but still. Then who will give you real-time feedback? Very, very important. Who are those people around you? Is it your friend, is it your sister, brother, teacher, parents? Who is there who's going to give you a real-time feedback? And finally, the last one, very important. Can you write down the result for yourself? Okay, can you write down the result for yourself? Right? That's the most important part. Coming back to, it's not an easy job as a faculty today, let me tell you. The most difficult job today because I look at L&D function. I started my corporate career as a L&D head in automobile industry. Faculty's job is very, very difficult as of now. The amount of dynamics is changing. Imagine now what ma'am was saying. You become autonomous. Life will be more difficult. Because now you will be co-creating. You will be co-creating the curriculum. You will be co-creating. You will be bridging between the industry, right? But my question to students and the faculty is how many research papers you have published together, right? I call for academic institution to do joint work for paper publication. Paper publication is important. Why? Because it gives you a structure. Otherwise, it is just something we have spoken in the air. Right? So how many of us, when you will go to do your internship project, can you write a white paper? Don't worry, publish nahi hoga. White paper and present it in the college. Your internship white paper. Think about this. All right? How many of you can go back and write down your experience story? So that's another very important thing I want to tell you. This is a very, very important skill which will be missing because AI is moving very fast. Because you will ask the question on the meta, on the mobile, and the answer will come to you. What is that skill? Putting your thoughts on paper. Trust me, I pick up a leader. If the leader can go on the drawing board and write the strategy for me, I don't want answers. I want somebody who can put things on the drawing board or on the paper there. So whatever you learn, every day make it a habit that sit down and give 15 minutes to yourself and write down how was the day was. Apni kahani khud likho. Right? My first instructor taught me something which is so amazing. Today also the question is so powerful. What you do when you get up? If I ask anybody, with your permission, Milinji, what do you do when you get up? It's such a simple question, right? I know most of us will say, "Isme kya hai is sawal mein?" I get up, I do my brush, I go do my stuff, and I think when you get up, you thank Almighty that thank I am alive, I'm still breathing. Because if you don't do that, then the next step is what you're going to do with this extra day which you're going to get, or you got it probably, right? And don't be scared. I definitely support what Brinda ma'am said, that your life is going to increase by 10-15 years. Okay, I know what's happening in biotechnology, right?
Yeah.
We are trying to give permanent solution for cancer with a permanent personalized cancer vaccine, friends, and it will happen in India and by God is together, maybe I may talk this next year that we have done this. Imagine a patient who going to die after 40, 50 days. We are talking about the patient will not have a single cancer cell in the body throughout the life, no relapse also, by the way, with mRNA. So that's the thing which we are talking about this. Another thing, do not get scared. दिन जो आता है उसको face कर लो. That's why I said read that book of Make My Bed. Do not get scared. डराने वाले बहुत लोग मिलेंगे. Corporate में तो बहुत ज़्यादा मिलते हैं. हमें रोज डराते हैं, by the way. Right? Don't worry about that. Right? That's my simple thing for this. I'm sure I've not answered your learning and development, but they're not interested on that learning and development thing. I can talk till evening also on L&D.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Ma'am, your take.
My humble request is, if we have time, I think let them ask the questions now.
Yeah, I'll have last one quick question, and then, because there are two important topics I would like to cover.
Fair enough. We'll be very, very short in that.
Sure,
because
sure.
we would like to give them space now.
Yeah. No worries.
So
I
the
know
beautiful
we all
takeaway for this round of discussion is apni kahani khud likho. The way sir said ki communication, right? I'm talking from the student's perspective. Communication, when we talk about students, it's assumption that it's only about English. Let it be soft skill or communication. It starts only with English and finishes with English. So the way you made them comfortable that it's not about English but putting your point. So let it be Hindi or Marathi, but say, ki, no, I won't be able to do it, I'll give you tomorrow. So that is one takeaway which students should take with them, and how to approach anyone they wish to, let it be startup or any industry. And equally good, what Vrunda ma'am stated, that invest in yourself. Be aware of your physical, take care of your physical, mental health, because it's equally important. As from institute perspective, definitely we are there to encourage them, but the students again have to understand that this is the one thing which has to be taken care on your own. Initially your parents would be there, then teachers are there, but industry is also equally aware of that, and they are madam, like people like madam who are there taking care of entire department to take care of yourself, but you have to be aware of all these things. These are the things which are equally important, rather than realizing at a later stage of our life when we are realizing in our nearing 50s. Another thing important I want to talk from faculty perspective. With a lot of expectations from the faculty, especially our teachers, we expect them to be good academicians, we want them to be good administrators, and lot of things. But what we hardly focus is that training. As you mentioned rightly, that there has to be more of investment on the training, learning, unlearning, and again relearning. That has to be there, because we all come 2 decades, 3 decades back, and we need to update ourselves. And more emphasis has to be on our teachers, wherein we can add micro-credentials to our students so that they are accepted by the industry. So 4 important thing is how we can train our faculty. Recently, our engineering college faculties have been trained with industry, and they would be their training partners with Cisco. So that is how we have started initiatives on our part. But like subjects like finance, wherein there is a lot of demand from student side, we definitely look forward for industry people coming and taking 1 credit at least for the students, so we can give back best to industry. So that is what we are expecting from industry to collaborate with us. Thank you.
Thank you. I have 2 topics to cover, and I'll pick up Sunil and Gopal for that. The first one is coaching the future leaders. Sunil, your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think I do day in, day out coaching nowadays. I coach CXO level people as well as I coach students. I coach students pro bono, free of cost. The biggest problem in coaching, what has happened, Milind, and of course, guys sitting here, you all know that. We have kept coaching for the elite. I have recently written an article on LinkedIn this month, a few days back, that coaching is not only for the elite people. Coaching is for everybody. And when I talk coaching, I am not talking coaching classes. Please, you need to understand a subtle difference between that. We are talking life coaching, your leadership coaching, your career transition coaching, one-on-one coaching, right? And one of the other things which I have talked at a very global level when I became a global chairman in the US, I gave an interview to a very big journal called CF Journal. I told them that mental health is an equal opportunity destroyer. and she spoke about happiness, and she runs the happiness index of her company. And so what I tried to say that everyone goes through some sort of, or likely to go through some sort of mental issue. Even your CEO, even your company's board of directors are also human beings. They may also go through an executive loneliness or some sort of mental health problem. We have to treat this as an issue and which can be addressed by anyone. So that is one aspect. While coaching, what I realized that coaching is a very personalized process, right? Coaching and mentoring go hand in hand. I don't want to differentiate it, but how many of you have a mentor here? You tell me, you raise your hands. How many of you have mentors? Only one, right? 2, 3. So I'm a certified mentor. I mentor at many places in Europe, in India. I teach at Mentor My Board. I am a mentor on Patil Incubation Center and all those things. But why I am telling you here is that if you have not found a mentor, this is a time for you to search for a mentor. And I always make this statement, which is a little bit rough statement. Finding a mentor is not a speed dating. You understand speed dating? You understand dating, yes or no? So you understand speed dating, yes or no? So, but don't find a mentor like a quick speed. You have what happens when you fail. There's a classic statement which I always make that when you don't get what you want to get, when you don't get what you want to get, what you get is an experience. And you have to learn from that experience. And your mentor will teach you that what is the experience and what you have to learn and what you have not to learn. The famous book which Milene and we all know is What Got You Here Won't Get You There. Right? Marshall Goldsmith famous book. And there also we talk the same thing, that what you have achieved in past is definitely not your criteria for success in the future. You have to continuously keep on learning. But find a mentor for yourself. Even we do mentoring in IIM Nagpur. I do mentoring in XLRI for MBA students. I don't know, ma'am, in your college, universities, you can start a mentoring program. I was the dean of IMA's global mentoring program for 3 years. For 140,000 people, I developed a mentoring program. But do find a mentoring program, do find a mentor. One small tip which Major Vishal told you, I said, I'll tell you, you start your career, your life, you do your own SWOT analysis. You should know who you are. For that, you do your own SWOT analysis. Strength, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. Strength and weaknesses are internal to you. Opportunity and threats are external to you. Just do that. I still do it every year. And that gives me an idea who am I and what I'm supposed to do and what are the things I need to learn. So coaching, mentoring, find out who's your role model. Sachin Tendulkar is your role model. No, you cannot become a Sachin Tendulkar, right? Very rarely. So find a role model which is you can copy or you can talk to, you can go and meet to, and then work on your own personality and your own lifestyle. Thanks.
Thank you. Gopal? Gopal, you talked about IT services industry talking about domain knowledge these days. What is that domain knowledge while you are doing a software development and delivery? What is the relevance or importance of the domain knowledge?
I was happy to see that there is a lot of interest in finance, ma'am. And because I come from banking, financial services background, so it is very interesting to see that. And you know, in the company, I run something called as domain consulting practice. It's a team of couple of hundred domain consultants who are providing their services to clients. So you know, it's a topic very close to my heart. See, what I have observed is, you know, whenever we have our freshers or new entrants coming in, they do not understand even very, very basic concepts of the kind of client's business or the business model, business processes, business functions that you know, they need to work on. And I'll be very quick about it actually in the interest of time. But the key thing, you know, if you look at a software product or a platform or a solution, it actually encapsulates, connects the client's business and, you know, kind of puts that into the algorithmics, the data and the infrastructure. So it's a bit of a complex interplay of, you know, the algorithms, data and infrastructure to achieve finally, you know, mimic the client's business needs. And unless you understand that business perspective reasonably well, it becomes very, very challenging to actually build a software which is, you know, aligned to the needs of the clients. So I think that's why this is important to learn something. And I don't know how you can do that, but that's what I'm suggesting.
Thank you. So now over to you for your questions. And as soon as you end your questions, I'll take one word from each of them as to what you should carry away as a message. Yep. Questions?
Hello.
Good afternoon. My question or suggestions I want to take in connection with this panel discussion. Our engineering education we are giving through the English as far as the university is concerned. Nowadays, as far as the mandate or some policy from the government is concerned, we are giving the engineering education through regional languages, Marathi, Telugu, Tamil, all those things. Our business language is English. So what is your opinion on this, whether it's a good movement to give engineering education in regional languages? The motive behind is that the students who are learning in the English, they might not get the good learnability, good conceptual learning, or they might not understand the concepts. So they may be failure. But in other side, the language is very needed as English. So what is your opinion? Because why I'm asking this question, since I'm a principal and other side I'm an academic council member of Pune University, and we are working on the NEP's model, how to implement that one. It's a mandate or it's a requirement from the government side also. We have to start the management courses also in the regional languages. So what are the difficulties or the challenges or what you suggest so that student will be more employable and more learnable? Sunil sir.
No, it's a great question and I'm happy you asked that question. I did my education up to BCom in Marathi medium. BCom in Marathi medium. From standard first to end of BCom. I stood first in BCom in the entire university. I was a gold medalist, but I didn't get a job. Why? I don't know. We'll tell that. I'll tell that story separately. Your mother tongue or your regional language or your local language is always important as far as the understanding is concerned and confidence building is concerned. I will tell you, you run a case study competition in your college or university in English, in Marathi and in Hindi, and you see that the students who are speaking in a case study competition in their mother tongue, they will do much better job than the people who are speaking in English. So it's obviously, it's proven by the research, your mother tongue, your own language, you're more comfortable, you can think like that. Like we always say that, no, when we, let's say a Chinese person, when he speaks English, he thinks in Chinese, then translate into English, and then speaks into English. Whereas Indian people, when we speak in the English, we think in English, because we have been taught to do like that. So there's a difference. A Chinese person, you will never see speaking as fast as English, as fast as an Indian person. The problem is they do that. But does that mean they are wrong? I don't think so. I would say the new policy changes are not bad, but always remember the corporate world's language is English worldwide, which is a good thing. But like Santosh initially said, or like I went to IMS Global Chair, and when I gave my acceptance speech in front of 1,000 finance leaders in the world, I spoke my Indian English. I didn't change my accent. Those days are gone when you have to copy the accent or you have to show that your language is better than someone. No, 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 no. Communication is more important. Language is secondary. Nowadays, lot of, with due respect, lot of young students or lot of people I speak with, their grammar is not as good as our grammar. But in industry, that's not important. Like he rightly said, मुझे ये बताओ तुम काम कर सकते हो, कब तक कर सकते हो या नहीं कर सकते हो. So communication, language is important, but I would always prefer that give an opportunity to your students to speak in Marathi or Hindi or English. There's nothing harm. And if they have to perform good, they will definitely perform. You know, the biggest strength of the Indian people is what? We can speak multiple languages. In America, people speak only one language, right? How many? I can speak 5 languages. I studied Arabic when I lived in Middle East. I studied Arabic. So that is the ability of your brain to learn new things, implement those things, and communicate with the people. So I think it's a great thing. I'm very happy with that. I teach in Marathi in many colleges and schools. When I go there, I suddenly start talking in Marathi. I could see the people are so happy there. I coach some people in Marathi because when you have to coach someone, you cannot coach someone. If you have a personal problem, you cannot tell him the solution in English. You have to ask them in Marathi, तुझा exact काय problem है मला समजावून सांगशील का तू? Now you see the empathy what I am showing to that person. So I think it's okay. I'm done, thanks.
So 3 things I'll mention here. First of all, for all the students here, please pick up a book, the title called Videsh Mukhi. Because he's very humble. He said this in a very brief, but pick this book, you will come to know the real stories behind this. Okay? I think you would have got that. 2 answers to this. One is for the problem which you're saying, and second is I will also speak from the student's point of view also. Rightly what he has said of this is, my father knew only one sentence, I am busy. I also never spoke in English, right? It's about not the language, it's about the confidence in the communication of this, right? But at the same time, the problem which probably you all will be facing with this, there are already solutions around this, right? How many of you have attended, listened to the recent, this thing, Geneva, this thing, meet? No? Have you heard about it? How many nations probably, or let's talk about the other one. Yeah. So at least something like 200 to 250 country representative they attend there. Do you think all of them know the same language, English? Do you think all of them spoke only English language? What was the technology there? I put my head guess. Whatever, the person speaks in Chinese or something, I will get my language of this. That's the solution, rather than fighting and saying that, because what happens is, and I'm trying to bring a very serious matter here, is because we try to get diverted into something else. Instead of that, we'll have a solution around that. My worry is different. My worry is, if I push so much on one language, we will miss our major language and we'll finish and kill our dialect also. That's bigger worry. How many of us today pick up a movie in OTT? How many options are there in the language? We knew only Rajinikanth as a South Indian movie. Today we knew so many of them, right? Not that because you listen to the Telugu dialogues there. You choose Hindi, you choose English, whatever it is there. That's the major part, right? And rightly what Deshmukh sir said, that if it's a global accepted language, I must know it. There's no question about it. But that doesn't mean that I forget everything, all that. Okay? Thank you.
What is the gap between what is said and what is practiced? Why is there a gap? For everyone about.
Okay, so that's a beautiful one. I mean, it shows that one, you're aware, second, you know. Attitude does matter, and attitude matters. Okay, I'll tell you how and why. You may sit down, please. So, if you just have, suppose we are sitting here and you're going to come for an interview, right? So you're coming for an interview because you've qualified for the CGPA and your teachers are going to allow you to attend it, right? The second thing is what gets you in, what got you for the interview is your marks, and that's a foundation that is non-negotiable. You have to get your marks, right? Second, when you come in the room, what is going to take you to an offer letter or no offer letter is what you interact in between that 20 minutes or 30 minutes, right? And what do we test in that 20 or 30 minutes? What do you think? Attitude? So that's the first thing you get in the corporate, okay? Imagine, okay, there's also an energy, right? When you come inside the company, if I have somebody who is a first student, when somebody comes first in the class, right? But he's not going to speak. He's not going to have any attitude. He's going to say, I don't want to answer. Or he's got an energy which is like, doesn't match my energy. I mean, it doesn't go through, right? So, and this is a very right question because I see this with my freshers when they join me. I see this with my team. I see this everywhere. And I will not blame you all because the way you've been born and brought up and the exposure which you will have, you have a different understanding of many things, right? Attitude is very simple. Attitude is, how can I help other? Can I respect the other person? Can I have some empathy towards the other person? Can I put him or her in my shoes? And that's about it. Can I just not be arrogant, rude, disrespectful? Just flip it up. And if I'm not anything of this sort, I am a good attitude. And it does matter. It matters because that gets you inside the company. It also matters for you to be in the team. Suppose, in a team, I'm sure everybody will agree, I have brilliant of team members, but somebody is showing a beautiful, amazing attitude. I don't want him. I'll rather go, somebody says, right, there are two people who are speaking very good English, but somebody who is very, saying it with clarity, I'll prefer that. I'll rather prefer with somebody who's not a high performer, but has a good attitude. Attitude will go over and above your marks for your entry level, for your performance to stay in the company, not being thrown out of the company. Thrown out is a bad word, but laid off or whatever you call it, right? Fired or whatever you call it. That is the thing, and you'll have to watch it for you.
Well, I know where she is coming from. Are you doing walk the talk is the question. Now, there are two things in it. One, whosoever is coming here for your placement, you should ask them reason for rejection, number one. There would be biases, unconscious biases with the people who are interviewing based on their background, okay? How good you are prepared to know about this organization, about their challenges, would also, have more content in your attitude which is appealing to them, okay? So, very importantly, whosoever is coordinating for you, the organizations which are coming here for hiring, they can simply give the reason for preparation to be better success next time. If they give you reasons for rejections, you will get your answers. Yeah?
Attitude cannot, suppose you have an interview tomorrow, you cannot prepare for attitude overnight. You cannot learn for it. Okay. So the thing is you have to hone the skills or prepare for it in this 4 years, use this as a ground which helps you do that. Okay, I'll give you a small example. Give me 2 minutes, okay? So simple as that. If you have your sports club, right? You've got your clubs, right? The Elocation Club and the outdoor sports and what are academics, right? You'll have some difference of opinions when you all decide something, right? So how do you all treat each other is how you hone your attitude. Okay? That is what will you teach. It cannot come overnight. Okay?
I just don't want to get into the psychology, but I'm just telling two things. If you want to learn a little bit more about this, the next stage of attitude we call in the corporate world in leadership is called executive presence. So study that. Executive presence is little bit advanced version of attitude with there we talk a lot of things, confidence, gravitas and all those things. So you can even look at that. Thanks.
No, I think your question is very valid, and the honest answer about this is, while HR will give us all the guidelines in terms of how to evaluate, the people who are evaluating will be from my team, who would know technology. So that's a fact, right? So they will end up asking the same questions. Besides, the second point is, for years, earlier years, and the way I was hired in the company was not even interview and talks and all. They asked me a few puzzles, and if I was able to answer that, I got into Infosys. So it's a very different mindset from which we come from. We are trying to change, but the reality is it's not very easy to change. And I have my own mental blocks also. For example, when Vrunda tells me that you should actually kind of look at the soft skills, attitude, mindset, and all that, I said in a 20 minutes or 30 minutes interview, how do I judge that? I have no way to judge it. So we fall back on the easier mechanisms. That's the reality of life.
So I don't remember that Hindi movie in which Amol Palekar goes for the interview. Golmaal, right? Old Golmaal, right? So definitely we are not suggesting, Utpalva, we are not suggesting you to become the Amol Palekar. Those who have not seen that movie definitely see that, because the interviews are all like that. And rightly what he said, that we as an HR, we will prepare some guidelines and these people will write something, comments on this, right? And we will also challenge on that when there is a challenge on the pay point of view. Okay. I'm giving very practical stuff to you. the most important piece, this has to be, because खाने का भी time हो गया, भूख लग गया है. So the most important thing, okay, I look at, and you all must see this, is what is the overall comments? And there I will second what Vrinda said. The overall comment speaks about 4-5 things. The student has good subject knowledge, academic background, good communication, but the fourth piece is differentiator. Has an attitude, have demonstrated goodwill, and looks promising. अब ये जो 3 word है, looks promising, ये कहाँ से आया? ये आप लोगों ने बोला, उसकी वजह से आया. तो मैं आपको एक काम बहुत आसान कर रहा हूँ. This is lifetime. I am doing it. You like it, you take it. Otherwise, leave it. Do not complain in your life. If you continue this, you will land up in corporate world also, because you will find many fools who will keep complaining, and you will also feel that he's complaining, I must complain a little bit bigger than that. So do not get into complaining, right? Number one. Number two, if you have your strength, if you have your talent, don't hold yourself like that elephant which is tied with the rope. Volunteer, right? Go for it. If you feel you have a very good out-of-box thinking, go for it. Give your ideas. What will happen? Few of them will say that it's not a good idea. That's it. So understand that and volunteer for it. And third one is, please give credit to somebody else if somebody else has done that job. Because people will teach you, the corporate is cutthroat, ye, wo, vagera, vagera, all that thing. But that is only to so much. Like, आप एक first line manager होगा, कर लिया. Second line manager होगा. उसके बाद leadership role पे सुनील देशमुख साहब select नहीं करने वाले. So, do that. That is where it is there. And finally selection होना है तो होगा, नहीं होना है तो नहीं होगा. कोई और आएगा.
Next interview.
The last question we'll take from them.
I think there are 2 questions.
Good morning, sir. Actually, Gopal sir, you said that future is not being a generalist, but rather being a specialist. So I think that making something AI from a generalist like ChatGPT into something specialist is the future. So my project, actually final year project, is based on this subject. And my question is that what advice would you give to students that are working on AI based academic projects to make them industry relevant? Because my project I think will make a significant difference in common people's life. So what will be your answer to that?
So this is a difficult one, but let me understand what you are trying to ask first. So you are saying that when you are applying AI and making it more specialized, what is it that we should do, right? Is that the question?
He's saying that this project which he is doing is more for common people. How could it be used to the corporate?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So see, I think at the corporate or enterprise level, AI in that sense is talked about a lot, but it is not picked up. And I'll give you some data points. We ourselves, my company, and I was deeply involved in that, we did a survey of 150 banks globally across all the 4 geos. And what we found was the AI investments today is around 8%, but it is likely to hit 17% in 3 years' time. So it is doubling in 3 years' time, right? But at the moment, it is just in single digit. So, the application of AI in the enterprise context has not been so rich. One of the reasons for that is, in fact, 2-3 reasons. One is that the people do not know how to capture ROI. It's very difficult to capture ROI of AI. So when you want to scale up and you need to put big money into AI, you need to know what you will get in return. The executives today do not know that. We also don't have answer to that. Second issue is the data. Most of the large banks or large corporates, they are struggling with having their data in a properly ordered fashion. There is a lot of digital exhaust of data, but then it is not really accessible, or it is not governed properly, or it is bad data. The third aspect on the data is there is a lot of data that gets actually generated in people-to-people interaction, and lot of tribal data that sits in the head. You can't find that out from AI. The fourth aspect is the cost of generic LLMs is astronomical in terms of the processing cost, and it is not actually easy to really, kind of stick to that paradigm. Now, the last point I'll mention, there is one way to go ahead. And have you heard of about DSLM or LRM? These terms, DSLM. Okay, it is called domain specific language model, and you can look up to that. Sorry, yeah? Oh, you are working on it. Then this is the, at least they say that this is going to be the future for enterprises. So for example, I am coming from financial services world. The digital SLM will be a very small parameter, maybe 8 billion parameter model, right? And that could be actually sufficient to do all your reasoning that is required in the organization, okay? That model will not know, because it is not trained on that data, it will not know who is the Prime Minister of India. But it will know that, how do I calculate loss given default? That kind of stuff. Okay, so I hope I am coming close to some of the details, and we can talk about it later also if you want.
Hello. My question is, do a person should given a chance who is having a quick adaptability, versatility, and creativity, even having no experience in industry given chances?
See, the answer is straightforward. We'll give a straightforward answer, no? The answer is straightforward. It depends on what is the role which you have applied for. Okay? If the role demands the delivery and your skill sets are not fitting to that, I think corporate will not take a shot to hire such talent. But imagine if the role is an entry level, and by design we know that this role has a space of 3 months to 6 months of a training, will definitely take such kind of a talent. There's no second thought on that.
See, I'm coming from IT industry side, both GCC and IT services, right? The model that we always have had was a pyramid model of recruitment and employing. So you have a few people, very senior people at the top, then a lot of middle management, then a lot of people at the bottom, at the ground basically, right? And these were fresh graduates. So we were able to hire a lot of them, and we have that pyramid, the base of the pyramid coming from the fresh graduates or people with less than 3-4 years of experience. What has happened, unfortunately, both from the client demand perspective, a little bit of slump in 2024 and 23. This model has exactly reversed to, or rather reversed, not reversed, but it has become a bit of a diamond. So you have a lot of people at the middle level, maybe 6 to 12 years experience, and relatively less number of people at the lower range. But I think this is, I believe, and I don't know the future, but this could be a little bit of anomalous behavior. Today, the rate of investment into technology is 11% globally, as compared to 3% of the global GDP growth rate. So there is a very rapid investment that is happening in technology. Our share of technology as India's market is around to $300 billion, which is 20%. And if we maintain that share, then we will grow fairly well, and that will actually allow people to enter into the system, and jobs will be created. As you have seen, when I asked the question, will the AI create jobs, then you are saying yes. So I think, I gave both the data.
Two terms I'll use. One is known as knowledge, another is known as skill. How do you get the skill?
By doing projects.
By practicing. So more you practice, you will be skilled to do the job. You would have a knowledge, but unless and until, because finally you are delivering something. Example, if somebody comes to you as a cook and he's having a wonderful attitude but is not able to cook what you want as a food, would you accept it?
No.
So you need both knowledge, skill, and the third part, attitude. So all this together is something one should look for, to get into the corporates.
Thank you, sir.
Any more questions? Otherwise, I want one word to come from their end as to what is this experience. Go ahead. Start with Vishal. One or two words.
I think the word comes to my mind is, for my experience, or you're telling for the students? My experience is I love to be with the students, and given a chance, I would like to be with them, right, doing that. And for the students is be curious, be hungry, keep the worries on the paper, not here. So when I'm saying paper, be it in the plan, rather than keeping in the head and making the head a little heavy with that. That's.
Never ever give up.
Chill and relax, yeah? Everything will be all right.
You can read my book Videshmukhi in Marathi as well as English. Everything what you have spoken is there, already there.
I think I already said it. Invest in yourself.
It's all about mindset.
Thank you to all of you. Take each of the point which they have said and use them. And thanks to all of you for sparing the time here.
Thanks for the great questions and being a lovely audience. Thanks to all of you.
Thank you. Thank you for an excellent and thought-provoking discussion. It was very engaging. It really connected well, not only with our minds, with our hearts as well. It offered a wealth of perspectives on the topic. Thank you so much. Now is the time to express our gratitude. I request Dr. Shir Bahadurkar sir to please come forward and propose vote of thanks.
Good afternoon to one and all. Now to this panel discussion, a lot of things have been forwarded. I see a lot of things has been bombarded also. And from this, it is difficult for the student what to take, what not to take. But we are the teachers. The job of teacher is that to scan that one. कारण हल्ली एखादा विषय जर आपण शिकवत असाल तर यूट्यूबवर त्याचे 10 व्हिडिओज अवेलेबल असतात. आपले विद्यार्थी घेऊन येतात आणि आपल्याला दाखवतात. मग आपण त्यामधला एखादा व्हिडिओ सांगतो हे वाचले तू बस. आणि हे वाचले म्हटलं का तो सक्सेस होतो आणि मग अशातून ते डायरेक्टर्स होतात, CEOs होतात कंपन्यांमध्ये. तो henceforth the job of teacher is very difficult. But anyway, this Samanvay, this is an initiative of our training and placement division. It's the first pushpa and lot of series are yet to come. From this panel discussion, number of words has been coined. But for me, one word is which is very, good for me, or attract for me, is patience. Patience is always important. And our leader, a promoter of this institution, Dr. Sushant Patil, he's a man of patience. Because, and also our founder, Dr. D.Y. Patil Dada, he always told that education is a patient game. You have to invest a lot of 20-25 years, and then your institution will be grow up. So that's why the patients are very important. So coming to this, vote of thanks, myself, Dr. S.G. Shirbadurkar, Principal of D.Y. Patil Technical Campus. It's my privilege to deliver the vote of thanks for this panel discussion, fostering sustainable skill development through industry academia collaborations. On the behalf of Dr. Sushant Patil Group of Institutions, I extend my heartfelt gratitude to our all esteemed panelists for taking the time to share their valuable insight, experience, and perspectives. Sir, your thoughts and bridging the gap between the academic learning and the industry requirement have truly given us the clear understanding of how we collaborate and can drive the innovation and prepare the student for the future workplaces. A special thanks to our moderator, Milin Mutalik sir, for skillful guiding the and discussion and ensuring such an engaging, thought-provoking session. Also at the same time, thanks the Sunil Deshmukh sir, Praveen Bhamre sir, Gopal Parasnis sir, Runda madam, Santosh Potnis sir, Vishal Karash sir. And sincere appreciation goes to the organization power from the placement division, Ashish Zavke, Cholkar and Mishra and all other faculty members who are engaged in organizing this kind of panel discussion. Finally, thank to all the audience and attendance for your enthusiasm and presence. And lastly, I thanks our dynamic leader and source of motivation, Dr. Sushant Patil sir and Advocate Anuja Patil madam, who has always given the unconditional support to organize such a kind of events at our D.Y. Patil Varare campus. We hope today's discussion inspire the stronger partnership and concrete steps toward the developing skills our nation's youth need to excel in the global economy. Let us carry forward the spirit of collaboration we have witnessed here today, and we are hoping the next Pushpa 2.0 of a Samanvay in few days, where number of students will be more. And more engineering students will be there, more management students are there. For your information, in our group, almost 7,000 students are there in all the 4 institutions, and this will be big gathering in the next Pushpa. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
So audience, if you just would come here, okay?
Actually, sorry for the interruption. Let us take some time to bow down to this mighty nation where we all were born. I request everybody to please rise for the Vande Mataram.
Vande Mataram, Vande Mataram, Sujala Sufala Malayaj Shitala Sasya Shamala Mataram, Vande Mataram.
Let us have a group photograph. Let us have 2 photographs, one with the faculty and one with the students.